title of this video says, not just for kids. I want to talk about some of the things, like the myth that art therapy is just for kids, some of the things that people misunderstand about art therapy, and some of the key important features and factors and principles that I stand for today and have always really appreciated, and key lessons. So the idea that art therapy is just for kids, I think, comes from the fact that art can hold space and provide a tool and provide an accessible way for people to express their emotions and to shift their emotions, feel calmer, feel able to do more things, be able to understand how they're feeling. And that comes from the fact that art represents and symbolises so many things, as well as the sensory qualities of it, how it feels, how you might touch an oil pastel and feel calm because of that, or for some people different materials might work with that. So the fact that children, generally speaking, don't have as big a vocabulary than an adult, it gives way that they'd be able to make an image, and it could communicate more than if they went to therapy and were talking. And yeah, there's some truth in that. Some children talk forever, and actually doing art therapy might not be their personal choice. And some adults that actually may struggle to talk about their feelings for whatever reason can really benefit from doing some art therapy, or creating a piece of art. It's not necessarily therapy in its own right, but independently. So that's part of that idea that it's not just for kids. You can step into being playful and being creative as an adult, no matter what age you are, and really nurture and allow your creativity to shine, so that you can actually step into the world more confident, and step into the world feeling lighter. The weight of your shoulders might not need to be so heavy, or it might feel acknowledged. Drawing a picture just of those heavy, stressful feelings might be just the tonic that you need at that moment when things might feel too much. So another myth maybe is that doing something therapeutic is designed to change your feelings, to take you away from sadness to happiness, or take away the stress instantly. However, actually, what it can do, and of course your mood can change. I know that if I've not made art for a little while, even in the shortest amount of time, then my mood is different. But what it can do is really validate and acknowledge those feelings, and help you to feel seen, and help you to understand your feelings without necessarily needing to give a word or communicate to anybody about how you're feeling. And if I were to ask you now about how you're feeling in this current moment, some of you might be able to say just what that is. Other people might find that there's a number of different things. There's maybe different thoughts swirling around, or there's different emotions that you're feeling inside your body. But the chances are there's more than one thing. And the chances are that what is very common is that things mix up and are tangled. And from 1 minute to the next, emotions can change. How we feel in 1 second may change. Hi, Leah. Nice to see you all joining here. It feels good to be able to jump on and talk a little bit about some of the myths about art therapy, and some of the things that are really important to me as an artist. And like, just leaning back into this idea of it not just being for children is really important, because I want to give everyone permission. You don't need permission, to be fair, but if you feel you need permission to be creative, to let yourself play with art materials, to let yourself experiment with maybe your camera, go out and take photographs outside. And it's been quite a wet, rainy day today, and I've pretty much stayed inside all day. However, when I've gone out for a walk and I've looked closely at things, it can help me to reframe that, help me to see things that it's maybe in a more positive light or in a more curious way. So I'm using oil pastels in this drawing today, and part of the idea of February is to encourage people to do a little bit of art or something creative every day. And that might be that you want to follow some of the prompts that we've got. And I've been communicating those to people through the email list that I have. So if you've been receiving the emails, then you'd be up to date with all of those things, and you can join that email list at any time, anytime you like. So this is what feels nice to do. What I love about oil pastels is how these particular ones I really love. I think there's something about this brand. What brand is it? It's Architecto. I don't want to turn it upside down, or they're just all four. But this particular brand is lovely. Oil pastels blend, and you can blend them together with your finger, or you can even use a cotton bud to blend. And these particular ones feel a lot smoother than some of the other brands that I've seen and used. So, and for me, that really suits. For somebody else, you might want to have a sharper line, so it might not be ideal. But these ones feel really nice, and blending a bit of that white in with the that red feels good. So just thinking about some of the other things that people get, that I would maybe keep talking about and keep sharing with people about this idea of when you're being creative and when you're expressing yourself, the process and how you're expressing yourself is more important than what it looks like in the end and doing something perfect. So I have so many conversations like this, and there's so many variables about this, about somebody that might say, well, I can't draw, I'm not very good at drawing, I can't do art therapy, or I don't want to join in with the Creative Hangout Wellbeing Art Workshop because I don't know where to start with my artwork. And actually, I would really encourage you to really notice what the process is like for you, and allow yourself to maybe just test out some materials and like give it a little try, see what sort of things you like the feel of, see what it's like to put pressure on with a particular material, or if there's a material that you don't like, then you're becoming aware of things. And rather than it being about the end result and what the picture looks like in the end, you can make some art messy on purpose. You can do something that's not finished maybe, or you can do something that you start one day and then leave, and then after even a month come back to it and look at it and go, oh, you know what, I'm gonna just do a little bit more of that. And that's really good for somebody who might be quite precious about something and might want to spend a lot of time on something. So what tends to happen when in my sessions that I'm delivering, when I'm working with somebody one-to-one, is that we're doing a combination of art therapy with creative coaching and some confidence sort of mindset coaching. So it's a real mixture. And whilst actually I would say that they combine, what matters is being able to go at your pace. So if you were choosing to work with me one-to-one, whether on the Creative R+R program, which is shorter sessions and there's like over just a month, or whether you're wanting to go for a more sustained progress and a deeper dive, like over 4 months. The idea is that we lean into the types of things that you want to do that are going to meet your goals. So this makes me think about how a piece of art like this, just a wiggly thing, might at face value not seem to be... It might be hard to kind of think, well, how does a piece of art like that match with my goals to be more confident walking around the street, or like my confidence to be able to show up on camera in my business, for instance, or my confidence to get back to the gym if I haven't for a long time. Well, what happens is that testing out different materials can sometimes feel like being out of your comfort zone, and trying new things can give our brains, give our minds, give our subconscious mind, all of those things in between, underneath our heads, in our heart, that can give us evidence that we can do hard things, that we can do something new. And then actually with that evidence, we and you can kind of step out and do something that is maybe a bit more challenging, maybe a little bit harder, may feel like it's out of your comfort zone, but you're allowing yourself to have some courage, and that would be the difference. And so it's maybe about using the art materials in a way that is allowing you to step out of your comfort zone, as well as being able to see things from a different perspective. So if you're creating something and the colours are changing, or the images that you're making evolve over time, then you can start to kind of question and wonder. We can use that curiosity to think, I wonder what it would be like if this situation didn't encompass all my thoughts all the time. What would it be like if it wasn't so big in my mind? What was it be like if I were to wear an outfit that I choose to wear, not an outfit that I feel pressured to wear? So that curiosity of seeing the world from a different perspective, and actually that can make it quite fun. So if you're seeing something and you're like imagining that some of your thoughts are real, or some of how maybe your ability to do something is your perspective of that is reduced. You might not feel that you have confidence to do something. But then if you're seeing it from a different perspective and imagining yourself practicing standing up straight and like practicing doing different things, which is where the talking and art making comes in the work that I do with people. And this is why it feels important to be able to recognise that it's totally not for kids. And in actual fact, my 4-month programme, I've done loads of work with children, like art therapy work over years. I've probably had about 30 years of working with children in some capacity, educationally, support-wise, therapeutically. And actually now in the online space, the work and my priorities and my, who I'm looking to be working with are women and adults who are maybe at a midlife stage in their life, who are looking to kind of regain and find their purpose again and regain some confidence. So somebody that's already into and looking towards improving their lives, somebody that's maybe does some things that's proactive. You might do journaling, for instance, or you might be interested in mindset, and you wanting to start using creativity as a way of breaking through some of those blocks that might be in your way. Some of those blocks might seem like a massive brick wall, but then when you push it away, it might end up feeling more like polystyrene. Like, you don't know. There's lots of memes like that where there's there's an image like where someone's digging through and there's like diamonds at the other side, and they stop just before they get through to the diamonds. And these images are so powerful, and for someone sharing that image, it could be so, you can look at them and think, well, oh yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. But how often do we, myself included, stop doing something when we think it might not be working, and actually perseverance can make so much difference? Or, you know, the magic happens when you step out of your comfort zone. So this is where, in the 4-month program, that deeper dive, as well as having core sessions of art therapy and the exploration and those core sessions, which are really powerful, as well as having those, there are weekly check-ins and some question and answers, drop-ins / what they call body doubling sessions. So that means that you can just show up and I'll be like present to answer any questions that you've got, which there'll be once a month, and then the check-ins every week. So hopefully this will make you kind of then love yourself more, love what you do, have more passion for the different things that you want to be doing in your life, and step forward with more joy and feel so much more like more yourself, more aligned with the true version of you, who you really are. So essentially, like, I ended up, like, I was sharing a lot of things about my one-to-one program there. So like sharing a lot of those things, and I think it feels important to share that, because I know that I like shy away from talking about some of those things, and I'm talking about art therapy all the time. And one thing that I'm really excited about with this new 4-month program is that combination of art therapy, coaching, accountability, emotional support, and just me showing up as an artist as well, me being present there as an artist to mentor you, and to me being there as an art therapist for that emotional support and those insights, and then us working together to help you to achieve your goals. So it does feel really fulfilling to deliver, and it feels really like the kind of thing that, for somebody that is ready to do the work, step out of their comfort zone, be vulnerable at times when that matters, and creativity takes some vulnerability as well. For somebody that's ready for that and knows that magic doesn't happen just overnight, these transformations and these shifts in perspective, shifts in emotional resilience, shifts in confidence, and really feeling your best self, these kind of things don't happen overnight, because the way that they didn't the things that maybe blocked you wouldn't have happened overnight either. A lot of these things are maybe long entrenched stuff, like beliefs about yourself and others and the world, that may come from your childhood, or may come from the society that we live in, or may come from all kinds of things, work related stuff as well, family related stuff, all kinds of things. So I'm never going to promise like an overnight instant transformation. Although actually, if you are making a piece of art like this, you can have, within just a few minutes, your mood can shift. We can get that mood shift. And for a more sustained shift and improvement to your well-being and your mental health, then putting the effort and putting the work in can really, really make a difference. So I am looking for people who want to work with me, who are ready to do that, put that time in, and open and available and open to have that support. And if you want more information about that, then reach out to me, and I'll be putting together a sheet of information that lists all those things that are included. But yeah, reach out to me. And if you know anyone that you think actually working with Leslie would really suit my friend who's going through this, that and the other, or like working with, like, I might be more suited for like the 1 month thing rather than the 4 month thing, reach out to me either way, and we can have a chat about it and get the ball rolling. And you deserve to be able to take the steps that feel right for you. So there's never any pressure, there's never any kind of hard pushes or anything like that. It's purely about you feeling aligned to it and feeling drawn to it. So, and that's why words went suddenly then. That's why, like, one final thing that's important that I strive for and aim for, and, you know, thinking about psychological safety and being able to create a safe space. So creating a safe space is so important. And so in the work that, when I'm working with people, there's a real importance about going at a pace of each individual rather than reacting and me doing things. So there'll be questions like, you know, what's helpful and what's not helpful? Is it useful to have the same time every week? Or do you prefer to have flexibility? And hopefully this is the kind of things that might help to create a safe space. And within that safe space, that's when there's freedom to express yourself. So, and that's a key thing that I'm just really passionate about. It's part of my wider mission to help people to express themselves regardless of who they are, what they've been through, any labels or any blocks that have been created in their lives. So thanks for watching. If you popped along and watched this live, I really appreciate you being here. And if you're watching this as the recording, as I post it, then let me know if you've got any questions or insights from this. And take care. Bye bye.